First, I want to congratulate the students for being here. They're taking the first steps in diversifying the legal profession, and I want to applaud you for being here and participating in today's program. Then I'd like to thank Anne Mitchell for having the insight in putting together a program such as this. I mean, this is what the legal profession needs right now. This is what America needs right now, okay? Diversity is good. It's going to take our country to the next level in social and economic diversity in the social arena. Now, some folks would tell you, probably on a predominantly white side, they would tell you, well, diversity, you know, it's not good. There's a lot of reverse discrimination. You know, folks are getting positions where they don't really deserve it. But let me just quote something that Black Enterprise editor Earl Graves said. He said, "The purpose of diversity is not to discriminate against white men, but rather to enrich organizations with diverse ideas and experiences that is reflective of both the customer base and the communities upon which they serve." Now, this is what we need. We need the end product of diversity needs to be here in this country, especially with lawyers, because I'm a bankruptcy lawyer, and when I go to my hearings, most of the folks, all the clients are there, all the folks who are there are black, and unfortunately, it's probably like one or two significant bankruptcy lawyers, and all the rest of them are white. And I could see when our folks who are trying to communicate with the majority lawyers, they have a difficult time, and you can see that the predominantly white lawyers have a hard time really relating with our folks. So we do need you to become lawyers, okay? Now, Ms. Mitchell asked me to come here to essentially tell my story and give you some tips. But before that, I'm going to put on my National Bar Association hat, be the cheerleader for the National Bar Association, and promote the NBA. Okay? The NBA is the oldest and largest association of African American professionals. We have a network of over 66,000 attorneys, judges, law professors, and students. Now, the association, we promote, we do a lot of outstanding CLEs for lawyers to enrich their profession. We provide a lot of leadership opportunities for young lawyers to be able to elevate in their career. We have networking events. We have pro bono opportunities for lawyers. Now, what I want to do right now is just take a second just to recognize some of the leaders from the National Bar Association. We have our Executive Director Emeritus John Crump over there. Can you wave your hand? We have Judge Burnett over there, where I did a lot of, where him and I, we worked on a lot of work years ago on healthcare disparities. I'm glad that he's here. And I believe there's some other NBA lawyers in here. I just don't want to represent the leaders, but we have Paul over there. We have any other NBA lawyers in here? Thank you for being here and supporting us. Now, let me just tell you, you know, I'm president of the National Bar Association. There's a lot of initiatives that the NBA is trying to do in regards to not just elevating our members, but also elevating our communities at large. Some of the initiatives we have is the election protection. We have policing awareness and reform. Our current president, who you may know who he is, that's Ben Crump. He's really big in that. You've probably seen him on TV. He's the attorney for Trayvon Martin. We have so many activities, but one of my major initiatives when I do become president is going to be economic justice and economic empowerment. I really believe that area is going to be the next breathing ground for civil rights in our organization. And what I plan on doing is training lawyers, young lawyers, to become pro bono attorneys in the area of corporate law, where we're going to go out and go to our communities, talk and try to train folks who want to be entrepreneurs or who are entrepreneurs to come into, to open up businesses in our neighborhoods where services are well needed. Now, some of you may know, if you're from the DC area, Walmart was supposed to open up the stores in Southeast and Northeast, but they pulled out, and now members in those neighborhoods will not have jobs in order to elevate themselves. Well, that is why we're going to go out and get folks to open up businesses in those neighborhoods, so those members of those communities can get jobs and have the services that they really need. Now I'm going to talk about myself and give you some tips. Originally, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Same thing like Raymond. I was brought up by a single mom in Brooklyn, New York, in the Brownsway area of New York, where the Mike Tysons and the fighters are from. And believe it or not, I used to be a little fighter too as well. And they had to move me to New Jersey. But even on the first day of school, I had to fight the first day of school. But I would say that it was good because it brought me to where I am right now. You know, I don't like to fight anymore. I'm not going to say I don't like to fight anymore. I stopped fighting. My last fight was probably 2 years after law school. But, but I stopped. I stopped. And, but anyway, in New Jersey, I went to college in New Jersey. I went to Kane University in New Jersey. My first job after college was with the IRS, and I was there for about 1.5 years. And then I went to Wall Street and worked as a stockbroker in New York on Wall Street. What made me decide to get out of that industry is that we had like a little mini crash in the industry, and I really felt really kind of bad for some of my customer base because they lost some money, and I just didn't like the feeling. And there happened to be another lawyer who was working there, and I said, hey, what else can I do where I could like help folks and make some good money? He says, well, why not law school? And I said, oh, okay. So took the LSATs. Next before you know it, I was in law school. In fact, I went to law school right here at Howard University School of Law. Now, I know that Ms. Yerby said that law school's not fun and all that kind of stuff, but for me, I have fun here at Howard University School of Law. And I can tell you why. Let me tell you why. There is a lot of work. There is a lot of work in law school, but the reason why it was fun for me is because I love challenges. Okay, you got to start to learn to love challenges. Okay, you got to get rid of fear. Okay, let me just tell you a little bit about fear. Fear, I got this from one of the Will Smith movies, the movie with his son in that futuristic movie, where he said fear is the next thing to insanity. It's all in your imagination, anticipating the worst in the future. Fear is not real, but danger is real. So always remember that. Do not fear exams, don't fear your professors, don't fear anybody. And just take everything as a challenge. Let me just tell you, when I went to go take the Bar Association, normally I think it's like, what, 8 weeks of studying? Well, I only studied half the time, 4 weeks, because I ran into a personal issue that basically was kind of devastating, where I couldn't study for about 3 weeks or so. And what happened, well, let me say, like I studied the first 4 weeks and didn't study until almost the last week that was left over. But fortunately for me, I love challenges. I looked at that bar exam as the Super Bowl, okay? And fortunately, I had a roommate who had the same mindset that I had. And we went in there, attacked that exam like it was a game. It was a Super Bowl. In fact, when they had like recess at lunchtime, him and I, we got together, and we're looking at people, some people with tears in their eyes. We're like, hey, their approach is all wrong. This is fun. And I passed the bar exam that the first time with only 4 weeks of studying. Okay. Then, one other tip that I have to tell you, and I learned this from Johnny Cochran, and I met Johnny Cochran at the National Bar Association. You're going to meet a whole bunch of important attorneys with the Bar Association. When I met Johnny Cochran, I met him at a reception he was having in his suite, and he says, Kevin, one of the main things you got to do in order to elevate in your career and life is stay true to the principle of 3 Ps, and those are prepare, prepare, and prepare. Okay? So when you go to law school, even while you're in school right now, just be prepared for those exams, be prepared for your classes, and you'll do very, very, very well. And I'm going to end right now because I've been getting 1, 2, 3 minutes. I'm done. But again, thank you for this opportunity and serving on this panel. Thank you.